Hey, welcome back, Panther fans. I'm David Brown, along with Ryan Graham. And his mic's not, he's muted himself. Tim Thurber.
Hello.
And this is State of It. Well played there, Ryan. Just muted yourself.
Well, I was just
on.
bragging about how I could make my microphone work, and I'm pretty sure it's broken again.
Oh, fantastic. That's great. I'm hearing an echo now. Are you hearing the echo there, Tim?
I don't hear an echo, but you sound really high-pitched on this iPad.
I don't hear an echo.
Oh. Well, as long as you don't hear it, that's all that matters, I guess.
All right.
I mean, neither of us do. Just you.
All right, cool. All right, well, I'm weird. So what can I say? So I'm watching the World Series right now while recording this. Tim, I'm assuming that you're doing the same. Yeah, we can't see. Just because you point somewhere, does that mean we can see what you're looking at?
What is that?
I got the pearls.
Got your pearl necklace on.
Got to clutch them.
What does that mean? What does that mean?
There's a player on the team that wears white pearls. You know, like a lot of guys have like the big gold chains and everything they play with. He decided to go the opposite route, and he has bleached hair and wears pearls while he plays the game. Jock Peterson.
All right.
Or as they call him, Jocktober.
I thought there was a reason that certain players wore like shiny metals that I think, I have a buddy who pitches, or he was a pitcher, and like they weren't allowed to because it would like distract or something. I don't know.
I don't know. I see plenty of guys that wear them. I think it's more or less of a look at me type thing. But I know Jock Peterson is trying to be something else. He's funny.
He is hilarious.
Yeah. So, but anyhow, Brian doesn't care too much about baseball. Obviously, Tim and I will be following along with the game while we talk about Georgia State. So hopefully the Braves win this game so that those of you that are listening to this tomorrow or whenever don't know something that we don't. I guess you know something we don't know. I don't know what I'm saying. Hopefully we win this game. Braves in 6.
All right.
So we had a football game last week on Saturday even, but I wasn't there. I wasn't because of the internet.
What were you doing?
I was officiating a wedding, and I want to say that I may be biased, but I pretty much killed it. I was hilarious. I was heartfelt. The groom only left the wedding during the ceremony for a small portion of the time.
What?
This was the second wedding for both of them, and they both have kids. It's a part of the ceremony was to present like a little gift to the kids, kind of, so they would have like just like they have rings, so the kids would have like a token of something to shows their commitment to this, that they're part of the whole family. Well, my buddy forgot the little boy's gift, so in the middle of the ceremony, he's like, "I'll be right back."
Oh man!
The problem was he says this to his bride to be, and I'm there, so I hear it. But he didn't say it loud enough for everybody else. And so he takes off and no one knows what's going on. And it never occurred to me to let everybody know. So they're like, what's going on? But it was fun. And all the while, you guys were out tailgating and having a good old time. I heard the tailgate was pretty one for the books there.
Oh, yeah, it was good. Lots of pizza. DJ brought these so I did the beef burn-ins. He did pork belly burn-ins, and I would just have to say he won this round.
Gotcha. Yeah. Oh, Tim is pulling a groom thing here and exiting out on us as well.
Yeah, of course. Norm brought his taquitos.
Let's take. Did he bring any hot sauce for him or some salsa for him this time?
Some salsa and some like not quite whatever creamy stuff. Come on, help me out.
Now, I was getting several direct messages from people, texts from people telling me how great the tailgate was going, and I don't know if it was really going well or they just wanted me to feel bad about not being there. But it sounds like it was a really good one for homecoming.
It was, yeah, definitely.
Tailgate was on fire for this game, absolutely.
Excellent. Well, we have 3 weeks of away games before we get to do it all over again, and I can't wait for that. But the game seemed to go pretty well. I was following along from the wedding. I guess we got down a little bit at the very, very beginning, but after that, it was pretty much I never really looked back. I guess we didn't really pull away big time, but it was never really looking back. Never lost the lead after getting that first touchdown. What was it like in the stadium? I heard it was not a great turnout, but what was the game like?
Yeah, I mean, like you just said, not a great turnout. It felt sparse. Even when the homecoming homecoming king and queen did their thing, which usually the students will come in at least for halftime and then leave again for homecoming, but they just never came in. Nobody seemed to care. It was weird.
Yet apparently people hide underneath the awning in the lower level
That too,
still,
yeah.
which I saw some photos that looked better attendance-wise, but from our perspective up in the club level, little sparse, I would say. The students still aren't showing up. We don't have the right offer for them. I don't know what
They
it
showed up
is.
for the tailgate though. So across Georgia Avenue, they had that whole lot, that empty lot that's over there. That's where they put all the frats and stuff. And they were packed out, having a good old time.
Yeah, there was a video that got posted. A student put it on Twitter or something like that of the parking lots during the game, and yeah, the big old party still going on. It was cool to be at the game, but not cool to be in the game, I guess.
I don't like to crap on that. I'm like, hey, come have fun. At least be part of the game day experience. Help it out. It seems like some of them should come inside though, for like part of the game at least. I mean, and we're out there winning. I mean, we didn't look. To answer your question earlier, I think I sidetracked it. We didn't look great. I mean, we still looked like a team that could beat Texas State and ULM and not a whole lot of other teams. But still, like, come in for just a little bit. It's free. Just like come see some football.
Yeah, I think all the stats say we won. That's a positive, right? And we're supposed to win, and we did win. And I think that's a good thing for us, right?
The only stat that was not in our favor was time of possession, which a lot of people harp on that as being such a big component of a game. But if you're scoring pretty quickly, as long as you're not letting them score, that time of possession doesn't really matter that much. But always it's looked at.
Well, and I think I saw that Granger completed like 64% of his passes or something. So if you're completing your passes, then you're doing your job, and it's going to be a little bit faster.
Yeah, he threw a couple of touchdowns, and oh no, I lost my sound now.
Tucker Greg, no, we can hear you. Tucker Greg did Trucker Greg things,
Bowling ball down the field.
Yeah, I mean, he was just. It basically was. You could just hand the ball to him every single play, and if he could make it for 2 hours, he's going to do it.
Yeah, you know how most running backs are just going to run out of bounds? I think he actively looks for a player to smash into before he goes down. That's like his MO. He wants to hit people.
There was one time he was running down the sideline, and instead of going out of bounds, he like looks over at the guy who's coming at him, and he just lowers his shoulder and goes towards the middle of the field. And it was like, man, I can't deal with that kind of football. That's exactly what I want to see. I mean, it was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just scares me so much because Granger, as much of an athlete as he is, he's a pretty scrawny guy, and I'm like, please don't break our quarterback.
He had a really good run up the middle one time. It was like 20 yards or something, where he just found the seam and went, and it worked. It was good. Usually he kind of nickels and dimes on his runs, but he picked up a big run.
Yeah, Tim, I think you said it best. You tweeted out after the game that we won the game we're supposed to win, and yeah, I agree. You're supposed to win that game. We kind of had that one circled all year long.
Yeah,
we knew that's a game we were supposed to win, just like we felt that Army was a game we were supposed to win. But obviously, Army is definitely a much better team than Texas State. So obviously, I think we feel better. I feel we feel better going into the rest of our schedule, even though we have a really tough 3 weeks ahead of us. We end the season with Arkansas State and Troy. We should still feel pretty good about the rest of our season, right? Where we were 3-4 last year, first 7 games in, we were 3-4, and went on to win the rest of the season.
I don't feel very good about the rest of the season.
You don't? What do you not feel good about?
No, we got to win 3 more, and you've only listed one team I feel confident against. Well, you didn't even list them. I feel confident this week.
Yeah, well, yeah, I think we'll talk about the trash down south, obviously, since that game is this Saturday.
Who else are we confident against?
Arkansas State
and Troy.
Troy's always like, they're like us, man. They'll just show up for a game weirdly, and it just happens to be us.
Well, I think that Lafayette got exposed this week playing Arkansas State. They barely won that game by 1 point. So maybe there's some lessons to be learned there. Maybe Lafayette was overlooking Arkansas State. I don't know.
Yeah.
I still I said at the beginning of the season that we don't lose all three, App State, Lafayette, and Coastal, and I still stand by that, even having dropped the one to App already. I still don't think we lose all. I think we get one of those. We should end 6-6, but I don't think it's unreasonable to think we end 7-5.
I want 7 wins. I want to beat one of Louisiana or Coastal. I don't want to go into the last 2 games and need to win both games to get into a bowl.
Y'all are crazy. 6 wins is our cap right now.
Yes, we are.
We are passionate Panther fans. By definition, that makes us crazy.
Yeah, I am too, but I can be a little realistic. 6 wins is our cap, and I'm worried about it.
All right. Yeah, I think you're wrong. I
would love to be wrong. I would love to be wrong. So please prove me wrong, Panthers.
It's a great position to be in.
Yeah, right? I will not say I told you so. Probably.
Expect the worst and take the better
6
or whatever you want to say.
I didn't say 5. I didn't say we won't win another game this season. I just said
you said that you're scared of getting to 6.
I think 6 is our cap, and it's going to be rough. I've not even in our wins, I haven't seen a team that's like very good. The Auburn game is the best I've seen our team, and I don't know why. I have no idea why. That's the only game they seem to show up for.
So we win the next 3 on the road trip, and then we drop the game at home to Arkansas State and Troy. We're going.
That would be the most Georgia State. Yeah, that'd be the most Georgia State thing ever. Like you win the games you're not supposed to. You lose the games you should win.
Yeah, we're feeling pretty. Ryan's now talking about we're at 6-4, and he's like, "Dude, we're going to be 8-4 to end the season. It's going to be fantastic." And then we drop them to Arkansas State and Detroit.
So Julian is saying Granger's getting comfortable, and he's still worried about QB play though. But like I said, he was 64%, and that is 60 is my mark, right? I mean, that's like your average. You got to do at least 60 to win the game, and so if he's hitting that, then that is better. He is getting more comfortable. That's true.
And there were at least, I want to say, like 3 or 4 just drops that were not on him. There were the receivers just dropped the ball.
Yeah.
And so it could have been better. And I think that, he's getting more comfortable. Hopefully the rest of the team is getting more comfortable. And
Granger,
obviously. Go ahead.
Granger did have the one fumble, so definitely want him to have a little bit better ball control. We don't want to give any freebies away.
We can't afford that whatsoever at all, that's for sure.
No.
I wanted to go back to the attendance thing we were talking about because Coach Elliott had some words about the fans or the lack thereof fans in the stand after the game in his presser, and I was kind of curious what you guys thought of what he had to say. I don't have the exact quote, but basically something along the lines of you want the team to do better. You want these recruits that come to the game to want to come to the school, come to Georgia State, but then they don't see a full stadium and it's less of a reason to make them want to come here. What's y'all take on what he said?
I think he's probably right, but you don't say that out loud if you're trying to recruit, because the recruits are not necessarily looking at that right away, but when the head coach says it out loud in public, they are all of a sudden going to start taking that very seriously. And so I'm a little frustrated that he said it out loud. I don't think it helps anything. I don't think because he said that, people are going to show up next home game in a month. But I don't know. It's frustrating to see that kind of thing.
Tim's over here doing the chop, so I'll give my 2 cents on this. I think that the only people that heard Coach Elliott say that are people that are already coming to games. So it's going to be one of 2 ways. It's either going to be taken, hey, this doesn't matter to me whatsoever at all, or it's going to be, hey, I'm offended. I'm coming to the game. I'm doing my part. Why are you calling me out when I'm actually there? He needs to direct that sentiment to Coach Cobb, to Charlie Cobb.
Whoa.
This is not on the fans.
No.
It's not on the fans are going to listen. It's not on the fans are going to listen to his presser whatsoever at all.
No.
It's not on us. We do our part. We come out to those games. I mean, granted, I missed this week. But we come out. I got all 8 of my tickets. I handed off to somebody, to other people that were in the game. So even though I wasn't there, my seats did not go empty for the game. But Don't say that kind of stuff and make it sound like it's the fans' fault. Give them a reason to be there. Win your games. Don't get blown out by Army and App State at home. Win the games you're supposed to win. Keep it competitive. Make it close in the games that are supposed to be. Knock off the guys that you shouldn't be. That Auburn win would obviously done a lot for us, but he needs to do his job. And then Charlie Cobb needs to do his job and put together an athletics administration that's actually going to do something about bringing people in there.
Yeah, I mean, the people listening to the after game. I mean, that's us. It's not the casual fans that aren't going to the game to begin with. So you're talking to your fans that care.
Well, and your recruits that are paying attention to the program,
Right.
Because they're the ones that want to come here, so they're hanging on every word, trying to figure out where they want to go to school. And when the coach is out there slamming the fans, they're going to slam the fans. In their head, they've got a negative reaction now where they might not have. They might not have given a shit.
Should he slam the AD?
Yes. Well, no, not publicly.
Not publicly.
Not publicly.
No.
He should just keep his mouth quiet when it comes to attendance, other than saying, man, those fans that came out there really made a difference. They were loud. They were fun. We love our fans. We wouldn't do this without them. We couldn't do this without them. That's what he needs to be saying. And then he needs to, on Monday morning, when he gets back from his drive from Columbia, he needs to march right into Charlie Cobb's office and say, what the hell are you doing to get more fans in the stands? What's happening?
Yep.
What's the plan?
I did see an interesting Twitter account come live, I think probably during the game, about students and where they want to sit. It was very interesting to follow that stream of tweets that came out from them and polls about where they want seats.
Come on, dude. It's Georgia
Just
State.
come.
You can sit wherever the hell you want to sit. I don't care if they say
Wherever you want.
I
That's right.
I don't care if they tell you to sit in the sun on north sideline. Sit wherever the hell you want to sit. You can. There's literally a jillion seats out there. That's what we're talking about.
Maybe that's what we pay Argus for. They just chase students to put them back in their student section.
I don't know. Start having classes that are on Saturdays at the stadium.
In the stands.
No, I mean, until it's a problem, I really, like you were saying, David, don't really care where you sit. If somebody comes in and says these are my seats, then get up or whatever. But
move 2 seats down.
Who cares? Yeah, that's right. There's so many empty seats. Just come in.
Is the lower bowl even like reserve seating, or is it all general admission?
It is.
No, there's reserve seating.
Okay.
I don't know.
Maybe
I don't know about the student section if it is anymore.
I don't think.
I think that's just general admit. Yeah.
Yeah.
The west side, a lot of that is reserved.
Also what would help a lot as far as TV goes, and I know we really can't do this, but the TV angle. We show the, for lack of a better term, the visitor side of the stadium.
The new student section.
The student
new
side.
student section.
There's a better term.
Yeah, that's the side that has all the sun blasting in it, no overhangs, no coverage. I don't know. Maybe we throw some, not tarps, but maybe some awnings that actually look nice that cover up that section to make it a little bit more pleasant to the eye. But yeah, we said before, there's plenty of fans that show up there, but they're sitting further back in the lower section behind our bench. Who buys season tickets to their team and says, I want to sit on the other side? So
Nobody.
all these season ticket holders are on the side behind the players, but you don't see that on TV at all.
Definitely not for the Sun Belt. Maybe for SEC and ACC schools, but for Sun Belt, I mean, no one's buying on that side. No one.
Yeah. So, hush your mouth, Coach Elliott.
Well, we know he listens, right?
Well,
Let's go grab a beer instead.
I think what has been said by Ryan Elliott for years back before the PantherTalk days, even Ryan Elliott said, we were here before you and we will be here after you. So we're not the problem.
Yeah,
we're not the
that's
problem.
A good point.
So, all right, I'll stop harping on that unless you guys want to, and we can talk about the upcoming game this week.
Well, I wanted to also, we talked a lot about the offense and how Granger did actually seem more comfortable and our running backs did okay. But our defense, I read some article saying, bend, don't break. But I mean, I just feel like Texas State couldn't get it done in the end zone or in the red zone. They marched up the field every single time they had the ball. I mean, they just marched right up the field, and then they got field goal after field goal, and that was the major problem. They couldn't seem to score a touchdown. But you can call that bend don't break, but I'd rather not see him in the red zone ever.
It was an interception. They got intercepted there towards the end of the game in the red zone, I believe, too.
Yeah, that was like the icing on the game. I think was that last interception
Because we marched down and scored that fourth and final touchdown.
Yeah,
on that interception. Yeah, no, I agree. But just looking at the stats, because I did not get a chance to go back and rewatch the game at all. But looking at the stats and everything I read about it, yeah, Texas State was able to put up a lot of yards on us. It just those yards never translated into points. And if that's what you mean by bend don't break, then yeah. But I don't want to see a team sniffing the end zone or the red zone at all.
it's scary, right? I mean, a better team scores on every single one of those drives, and they did, right? We watched the App State game; they marched up the field and scored. Texas State just couldn't get it done, and that's not. I don't necessarily think that's on our defense. I think that's Texas State just not being that good.
Well, they have a great quarterback, from what I'm told as well. Like he probably should be.
He didn't play that good.
He threw a great pick at the end there.
Yeah.
Hey, we can't get the ball to our receivers. Maybe we should get him to transfer over here so he can throw to our receivers.
He definitely doesn't overthrow.
That's good. So yeah, we can. Coming out of the bye week, we won the game. We're ready now. We're heading down to Statesboro, and it's pronounced Statesboro.
I like that.
To take on the trash down south. Yeah. So how you guys feeling about this game?
I feel really good. I mean, we can talk about those tweets though. Am I moving too fast? Did you already have that scheduled somewhere, or is it okay to talk about now? All right, let's keep going, I guess.
It's our next game on the schedule, or is it our Super Bowl?
Well, that was the thing. It's like I don't mind them saying it's not a rivalry. They're wrong about it. There are Georgia State fans who say it's not a rivalry too, and they're wrong too. But to come in and say that like, oh, these other teams come and play Georgia Southern, and when they win, it's like their Super Bowl. Like, what are you talking about? Like, what are you saying? Like, in what world do you live in that's anywhere remotely? They're all on drugs, right? I mean, like, you got to be on drugs to say something like that. Like, we should just go test that guy.
What's the last year they were relevant?
That's right.
It's been a while.
Damn, they have Six Flags.
They do. You're right. They have Six Flags. I keep forgetting that one thing. Sorry.
We got Six Flags as well. Just head down 20 out the west, and you'll hit Six Flags. We got it.
Do you think when they surpass the number of FBS seasons over FCS seasons that they'll still talk about Six Flags?
Yeah, because they'll have lost all those other seasons.
Well, at some point, their fan base is going to, get older. I mean, like, I think no one's been – the recruits now were not alive when Trash Down South won their last championship. Is that right? Or it's thereabouts close to it?
I couldn't tell you when they won their last championship, so –
yeah, I don't
championship. Know I put in quotes now.
Another 6 of them now. That's all I know.
Your minor league championship. Way to go! That's fantastic.
Congrats.
I like how they talk about how bad we were in FCS. I'm like, yeah, we had just started football.
We played like one season of FCS football. I mean, like, what do you? Come on, man.
I don't think we were doing yet.
That's all you got is our FCS record. I mean, come on.
Let's talking about. My mic was kind of my headphones were messing up a little bit when you guys started off the conversation with the tweet, so I want to chime in a little bit about that, about the Super Bowl stuff, whatever. It just sounds like some guys that are trying to talk trash and have no clue what they're saying whatsoever at all. They don't have two active brain cells to rub together for a thought. It just makes no sense.
No.
If App State was saying, fans were saying something about this, like, it's when they beat us, it's like, their Super Bowl. I'm like, all right, cool. App State kind of came in here and kind of owned this conference. So while it's still a stupid statement,
it's stupid still, yeah.
It's still stupid, but at least you have something that's like, I'm sorry if you've not looked at your scoreboard or your record book this year, dudes. There's been 5 Super Bowls played against you this year. You've lost 5 games. You're 2-5. You're last place in the East Division.
So we used to complain about that, though, where like smaller programs would come in to the Georgia Dome, and we used to say that, oh, it's like their Super Bowl. But it wasn't because they were playing us. It was because they were playing in a professional sports arena. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
that was the whole thing there. Like that we weren't saying, oh, you get to play Georgia State. That's like you're playing in a Super Bowl. It's you get to play in the Falcon Stadium, man. That's rad.
Yeah, and you get to have the Falcons locker room. We were giving,
Yeah.
we gave them the Falcons locker room, and that was especially true those first couple of years when we were playing those NAIA teams or the Division II
Lambeth?
teams.
Let's not. Should we
Yeah,
not bring
The
that up?
Lambeths. All
They
right.
shall not be named.
The school who shall not be named. Yeah, yeah. When we were saying those kind of comments, it was not because that we were all this high and mighty team. No, it was you're getting to sit in an NFL locker room to prepare for a game, play out there in an NFL stadium. Yeah, that was definitely something they looked forward to that entire
Right.
season when they saw it on the schedule. No, I'm sorry. Will I beat my chest when we beat Southern again this week? Absolutely. Do I even want to play them? Not one bit.
Oh, I
Because
do every
they're-
year.
They are so beneath us. I just do not care about them.
I agree.
whatsoever.
I want to stomp them every single year so they know it.
Sorry, I want to play them out of conference and at home every year.
You want to pay them to come for the pleasure?
No, this is where their fans are. This is the only place they'll actually get fans to go to their game is when they come here because they all live in Atlanta.
I mean, to me, it's just another game on the schedule that we should win against an in-state rival. That's it. There's nothing special about it. It's a rival. That's it. We want to beat our rival, but it's not our Super Bowl and never will be.
When you say it's not a rivalry, you're really saying it's a rivalry.
They're really good at that.
Yeah, they're so stupid. They're having a very bad year. So yes, we should win this game relatively easily. I feel like it's a game that Coach Elliott will probably not take the gas off. I say whatsoever at all a lot.
You do. I'm gonna make a meme of it. I already made one time, but I felt like it was missing something, so I have not pulled the trigger on it yet. But you're gonna get a whatsoever at all meme at some point.
I think I should get a shirt.
Whatsoever at all, just your
whatsoever,
face.
yeah.
Whatsoever
Yeah.
at all.
You should start saying nevertheless, too. Put that in your vocab.
It's got to be natural, man. You can't force it.
There's another one too, and I'll remind you next time you say it because it's bound to happen in the next 15, 20 minutes.
I was gonna say 30 to 45 seconds, but yeah, whatever it may be. So yeah, they've won 2 games. They beat Arkansas State, which has looked like the absolute worst team in the conference this year, and they beat the FCS Gardner Webb in week 1 of the season. Everything else has been pretty much I was gonna say blowout.
They were basically
they had a couple
2021 FCS champs, right? I mean, they beat Gardner Webb.
There you go. Yeah,
Hang another flag.
You should hang a flag for every time you beat an FCS team, just in
Hang another flag, fellas. You did
in
it.
memoriam of your FCS days.
You did it. Congrats.
So I know that like every single team out there wants to be an FBS team. Like, in their mind, they want to achieve that. But I feel like there's probably some programs that really should have never made the jump. And I think the Trash Down South is one of those teams. Like, they could have continued to have extreme success in the FCS, gotten another
More
half
flags.
Driving
Another
their
half
school
dozen flags.
buses.
Drinking beers from the
Exactly.
top.
So while I'm not surprised they made the jump when they got the offer made to them, but that fan base deserves to be FCS because that's the only way they'll ever be happy. You will never achieve the greatness that you did in FCS in the FBS. It's just not going to happen for them.
Yeah.
I did like the tweet from, I think it was some app account where they said, you've run the same 4 plays you've run since 1973 or 1 or whatever it is. You're never going to adapt. You're never going to make it.
Well,
Yeah.
they fire anyone who dares to play a 5th play. I mean, they're just like, oh, you're out now. Get out of here. 5
Yeah,
plays.
exactly.
We don't do 5 plays round here.
It was 3 games, maybe 4 games in the season when they fired their head coach this year.
Something like that. I'm from Georgia. I can do the Southern drawl, by the way. It's cool. I'm one of us.
Well,
You're allowed.
I'm one of it. I can say it. You can't say it. I'm from Tennessee. I can say whatever the hell I want.
Yes, and Memphis at that.
Oh, this is at least the city. Come on, if I was from like,
Yeah, okay.
if I was from Bucksnort, Tennessee, then I have way more of a right.
There's a place called
Bucksnort?
Bucksnort.
There is a Bucksnort, Tennessee. It's a little ways outside of Nashville on your way to Memphis.
Oh boy.
And I stopped there once for the gas station, and it's one of those like truck stop gas stations. Like just nothing. Everything in the little convenience store was like all kind of like adult porn related. They had like naked frogs humping each other, like ceramic porcelain little things, whatever. It was and yeah. Bucksnort, Tennessee. Yes. How do we get?
It also sounds like a drug that truckers do.
You got any of that Bucksnort? Come in there, 1-9er. I don't really have a lot to say about this game coming up. We're hoping that our team gets out of there without catching any diseases. Hopefully, our chartered real bus, not school bus, does not go off the road into the beautiful Eagle Creek. I don't know. I don't have much to say. I put like literally like no notes together for this because I really can't stand them.
We're favored by 6.5, says Vegas.
Favored by
So
6.5.
far, yeah.
Yep.
Apparently, that is changing quickly.
ESPN gives us a 52% chance of winning, so I'll take
That's not
that.
that high.
That's
It's
very
not,
high.
but it's a rival game, so throw stats out the window, right?
Wild card.
Yeah.
They did get they're coming off their bye week. They had a chance to really figure out the Coach Elliott offense, and
They had a
They
chance
don't
to
care about
practice.
that. And the coaches went and recruited over the weekend. They didn't, they're not worried about us. So
They
They
gave
do
the team
anything
2 weeks
different.
off,
they
right?
didn't do anything different. Yeah. Oh, they're probably just like figuring out how to surf on top of those school buses and how to pound beers and
team.
good,
Actually, I will say though, the pounding beer looked like they knew what they were doing.
he
when
was
it came
good
to
at
that
it.
part.
Yeah, he
It
was.
was
He
a-
was good at it.
It was an excellent catch and downing of that entire beer.
Great.
I can drink beer all day long. You tell me to chug one of them, and I'm gonna spit it all out. I can't
I have
do
seen
it.
you drink
You
a
can't
lot of beer.
shotgun, man?
I'll drink a 30-pack over the course of a day without a problem, and still be good enough to drive my kids home from school. But
No. Dude, this is recorded and put out into public.
I walk my kids home from school. It's okay.
Every day.
Is pushing a stroller considered driving? But no, I can't chug a beer. So props to that dude for being able to chug a beer. I guess it's probably one of the classes they have at their introductory thing at Southern. So
Advanced
Sam,
beer
to your
chugging.
To your point, I think I've shotgunned like one beer and I did it successfully. I just never wanted another one. I was like, all right, I've done that. Life experience complete, check mark. Now I'm going to drink my beers the way I want to. Never funneled a beer though. Never have I
No?
ever funneled a beer.
No keg stands?
I
No
have
keg,
been-
no
I have-
keg stands.
Oh,
have-
man, you're missing out.
I have done keg stands.
Have you?
Yeah. I just like making people hold my fat ass up and
You're like, ha!
You got all the work.
exactly. Now I'm gonna sit here and just like let beer roll out of my face into my nose and drown in it, just the way I wanted to go, drowning in beer.
Jesus.
I mean,
It got so dark.
I mean, I can shotgun a beer too, but when we went to the Georgia game a couple weeks back, there was a group across from us, and they were shotgunning beers probably every about 5-10 minutes, endlessly. And I was like, how are they even standing at the end of the day? I don't know. It's a skill. I don't have that skill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got nothing else on that.
All right.
Real quick, women's soccer is finishing up the season, or actually they finished up their regular season, and they were still waiting on one game to be played before they know the seeding for the tournament. But the tournament starts on Monday for the Sun Belt Championship. So good luck to the ladies on Monday. Men's soccer's got a couple games before theirs, and they only play 6 conference games. I thought that was really strange. They're 2-2. They're 10-4 overall right now, and 2-2 in conference with 2 games to go. I'm like, that just seems really weird to only have 6
Short?
conference games.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, 16 total games, but yeah, anyhow. But good luck to those guys when that conference championship rolls around. And then my favorite topic, we actually have legit confirmed Sunbelt expansion news as of today.
I was just
Oh, yeah?
about to ask if we have realignment talk yet.
Well, this is not realignment. This is conference expansion. We've added a team. Southern Miss is now will become part of the Sunbelt as of the 2023 season.
Was it 2023 they announced? I just saw the welcome.
Yeah, it said no later than July 1st, 2023.
So they're still trying to make it happen for next year.
Yeah, so I'm assuming that the Conference USA probably has a stipulation on how long before you can leave. Once you announce you're leaving, how long before you can actually leave? You can't just like say, "All right, I'm gone," and just
leave.
Whatever.
Well, we were talking about this at the tailgate, and it's like, a majority of that conference is leaving, and don't they all get a vote? Can't they all just vote like no fees and we're out?
Yeah,
I'd like to bring to the table the vote of we're not paying fees.
Everyone
All in
that leaves
favor,
for the
say aye.
AAC and the Sun Belt just votes. They're like, we're gone.
Yeah,
Bye.
I don't know if once you have announced your departure that you don't give up your right.
You no longer get a vote.
Yeah.
Well, then they probably wouldn't have announced. They would have just voted.
Yeah.
Now, that would have been the biggest dick move ever if Texas and Oklahoma were leaving the Big 12 and like, all right, we want to bring in Cincinnati, Houston, and UCF. And they're like, Texas, Oklahoma are like, no, we don't like them. We're voting no to them.
Yeah. Exactly.
Decline.
But yeah, so they'll start probably not next year. And then obviously the writings on the wall that this is not it, that it's going to be Old Dominion, James Madison, and Marshall coming in as well, putting us at 14 teams overall in football, 7 teams in the East in each division. What I don't like about that is we become the most westernmost East Division team.
Right.
And this whole talk about this was to make things closer, to
tighter.
Well, all it really did was help out App State and maybe Coastal, I guess. They get closer rides. Like for us, our furthest drives were App and Coastal, both right about 5.5 hours. Now you're looking at 8 to 9 hours for Marshall, ODU, and James Madison. It's not horrible. It's a few more hours, but as far as getting a nice, tight regional, conference and division, it just got worse for us.
Yeah, I miss Troy.
It's still a bus ride.
Yeah, and Troy was the westernmost. It's not like we were in the middle of the division at all, but it was just one school that's a couple hours away that was further west than us. But we do miss Troy. Now we have the closest conference school to us.
Trash.
In football, we will play once every 4 years.
Right, and the closest in division rival is Southern. Right.
Yeah. Whatever.
How bad does it feel to be one of the remaining Conference USA teams that you're looked over for JMU?
I don't know what the presidents were thinking specifically, but because there's also a lot of talk of bringing Western Kentucky and Middle Tennessee back. But if message board fodder is to be believed whatsoever at all, and I really don't think that it should, that the remaining members of the Sun Belt from when those teams departed for Conference USA were just bitter, like, we don't want you. You left us hanging, and now we're going to leave you hanging.
You stay on the sinking ship.
That's a bad reason to do anything like this, to take JMU over. But apparently JMU is a pretty good pick, and some people seem excited about it. I think it's a good FCS pickup, but I'm not that excited about it. I'm not excited about an FCS pickup, but we'll see, I guess. But I'd rather have Western Kentucky. I mean,
me too. Basketball.
I'm no fan of directional schools, so adding Western Kentucky and Middle Tennessee just doesn't excite me whatsoever at all. And
I didn't bring up Middle Tennessee,
but
they couldn't even pick a direction. They just went middle.
We're here. We're right here.
Yeah,
it could have been East Nashville, or Murfreesboro.
South Nashville.
It is in Murfreesboro, yeah.
Murfreesboro, just east of Nashville. But Nashville's a cool town. I wouldn't mind staying in Nashville and driving the 45 minutes to Middle Tennessee for a game. I always take any opportunity to go to Louisville for some bourbon shenanigans, so I wouldn't mind it from that. And both those schools are closer to Georgia State, which is closer to Atlanta than either Marshall, Old Dominion, or James Madison are.
And my dad and stepmom are in Bowling Green, Kentucky, so that would have been a great every other year. I'd go to that game for sure.
It's going to be interesting to see what happens with Conference USA, but with everything that losing. But I don't know. I
What's
think
the message
ESPN,
board fodder say?
all kinds of crap. But I wanted
The other thing I heard about Western Kentucky over the weekend that I thought was funny is we could stop beating them in bowl games and we could just start beating them every year.
no, we lose to them when it's in conference.
Yeah.
we're
You win what you're not supposed to.
One kind of, I guess, maybe a positive thing is it is rumored that with, I guess, 2 or 3 of those schools all have men's soccer, so we may actually be sponsoring men's soccer again.
That'd be good.
Instead of going up to the MAC schools. I guess that'd be kind of cool. There were some rumors that the ESPN TV payouts are going to go up from what's rumored to be $1.4 million a year to $2 million a year per school. So that's cool.
Thank you, ESPN, for telling us to add schools and make more money.
Telling us which schools to add. I don't like this whole thing. I don't like this whole thing that Marshall kind of strong-armed us into bringing Old Dominion and James Madison. That's kind of Marshall's been pushing for this Eastern Division or Eastern Conference for a long time, and they try to throw their weight around that if they were going to come to the Sun Belt, they wanted to bring Old Dominion and James Madison with them. And if that's the case, I would have said, screw you, we'll take Western Kentucky. We'll take Southern Miss, Western Kentucky, and you guys can go play in the remnants of Conference USA.
I think we were at the whim of ESPN and whatever contract deal they were offering. So if Marshall wanted it and that's what ESPN wanted, apparently JMU is likely to bring a lot of subscriptions to ESPN Plus or whatever is what the thinking is. And what I think is funny, and I mean funny, not funny, haha, I guess, is that ESPN effectively just death sentence the CUSA. I mean, they don't so CUSA didn't have an ESPN contract. They were with somebody else, somehow else, and ESPN basically just plucked up all these teams, stuck them in their own whatever. And CUSA's, I mean, what are they going to do?
Well, I'm glad you asked that, Ryan.
What will they do?
I mean, what can they do?
Well, so there's been some reports that they are looking at bringing up a slew of FCS teams like Sam Houston State, Tarleton State, which is
what is that?
Tarleton State is in the middle of transitioning from Division II to FCS right now.
Perfect. Bring them up right now. They're ready to go.
Where are they?
Texas?
They're in Texas.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're in kind of Nowheresville, Texas. Apparently, and Tarleton also did announce after these rumors came out. Tarleton did announce that they're expanding their stadium to 20,000 to seat 20,000 people, and it does have a track around it. I looked on Google Maps.
So does App State. To be fair,
It used to.
They removed it.
I think it was last year was the first year without it.
Yeah.
That's how much I know.
No more
Yeah.
track. But they didn't do anything. It's just now fake turf.
That's
The stands are still far away.
There's also talk of the Bishop Sycamores, which I think is an Ohio team, and McNeese State as well. But
You know
basically,
McNeese State. That's Missouri, right?
Can we get Murray State up in here?
Oh, that's who I thought it was. Never mind. I don't know McNeese State.
there was talk of taking New Mexico State as a full member, and because they're independent right now, and possibly grabbing UConn and UMass as football-only members.
Why don't they tempt some Idaho back? Come on, hey Idaho, you want to come back?
Right? Yeah.
One more thing on James Madison. I am a little bit excited about them. I worked with someone for about 10 years who went there. They are a super passionate fan base. They'll bring, really good energy to FBS football, I'm sure. I mean, they're pretty much insane.
I hear that their fan base is very similar to the Trash Down South and App State as far as being incredibly arrogant and cocky and like to be internet trolls.
Oh, they're elitist. Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
But the thing I like about Old Dominion and James Madison is, well, one, I've got friends that live in Richmond, and that Richmond's kind of like dead center between those two, Norfolk and whatever the hell James Madison's in, Huntington or something like that.
It's right off Major Highway, though. I mean, you just pop up there.
So, I mean, it's a chance when we play those teams. That's a trip to go visit some friends and stay at their place and drive an hour to the tailgate or something. I don't know. I'm trying. It is. These are 3 schools that I would not mind traveling to for an away game. So I guess
Well,
that's
that's
a
what I was
positive.
saying earlier. You were saying that the footprint is not as tight as it could be, but I mean, it's still a bus ride for the team. It's not a big trip. I mean, that's
Yeah.
close.
It's
This
right
is
on the
not
edge. Yeah.
None of these teams are teams that I could do a bus trip for like we did for Auburn.
No. A bus trip for the team. I mean,
Yeah.
as far as travel expenses, they're not. They don't have to charter a plane. They might charter a plane, but they don't have to.
Even if you chartered a plane to Old Dominion, you just have to bus for a couple hours afterwards.
Yeah, they're gonna bus.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think that there's rumored to hear stuff from Marshall or Old Dominion maybe this week, maybe Marshall's this week or early next week, but that James Madison may take a couple of extra weeks because of all the numbers and stuff they got to do because they got to drop a lot of their money. They have to drop their budget down because their budget's living off of student fees, and the state of Virginia doesn't allow that for FBS programs, only
Right.
for FCS for
I
some
heard it's
reason.
pretty expensive for JMU. Like some crazy astronomically high number.
So I don't know how much we bring in from student fees for athletics, but I want to say our budget's like 30-something million. But Ben posted on Panther Talk that if we charge as much as student fees as they do with that rate and the number of students we have, our budget would be over $100 million.
Yeah, just Googled it real quick for fun. It's $2,226 for athletics at JMU. Holy crap.
Per semester?
I don't know.
That's
You're
crazy.
asking really hard questions.
Well, yeah, you brought it up, man. If you bring it to the table, then I'm going to talk about it. So
It's for the year.
for the year. Okay. So basically $1,000 a semester or probably a little bit less if you consider summer.
Yeah. Wow.
Um,
It's still expensive. Come on.
It's very expensive. It's very expensive.
We'd like some of that money.
I heard that if we raised our student fees, that we would have $100 million. I'm like, raise our student fees.
Build the baseball stadium. Let's go.
I'd rather just get down, like get rid of the student fees as much as possible. I know not even, UGA doesn't have them, but I'd rather minimize them.
Obviously, that makes the most. That's what we should be doing. However, at this point, we couldn't survive without them.
That's right. We wouldn't.
Because we don't have an administration that's trying to put butts in seats. If we were selling out all our games, like legit selling out our games, and legit, selling everything, marketing the program correctly, and generating some money, then yeah.
Well,
Speaking of-
somebody in our chat last week was saying that they got a phone call from athletics asking for money, and they were sort of making fun of it. But I was like, I'm just excited to hear that somebody called somebody trying to raise money, because I've never gotten that phone call. And like, honest to God, I'd probably give if I got that phone call, but I don't, so I won't. Why wouldn't you call me?
I'll give you a call tomorrow and ask you to give money to the PAC.
I'm not you. Norm's listening though. I'll donate if he asks me.
You hear that, Norm? You hear that, Norm? Ask Ryan for money. His checkbook's open.
Speaking of money, though, I had 2 non-GSU friends ask why we had really small flags for the cheerleaders when we scored a touchdown.
Oh my God.
That's all I'm saying.
You people and your flags.
Thanks, Norm. He said
Norm will solicit you for money, Ryan. And maybe other services. I don't know.
So are we gonna do a GoFundMe for
Oh,
we're gonna do a GoFundMe for flags?
we should. They're expensive as shit, though. Holy crap. I didn't know
Who
how expensive they
cares?
were.
Who was watching that part? We scored, man. I was high-fiving and drinking beers. I wasn't looking at the field.
Apparently people look. I don't know. People watch, right?
Yeah, whenever we score a touchdown, the last thing I'm doing is looking at the field. I may glance back up for the point after,
Maybe.
but I'm
I'm high-fiving everybody in my immediate vicinity, and even branching out to not so, close.
And depending on what quarter the game is, if it's late in the game, I'm taunting the nearest fan of the opposing team.
Or you're passed out in your chair.
No, never. Not David.
Nah, I don't pass out in my chair. I have pictures of friends of mine that have passed out in the chair. When I would bring some non-GSU fans, like their only coping mechanism of being there was drinking.
Just
I got a lot of I just got pictures of a lot of my friends and taking naps in the Georgia Dome.
I think David has been so drunk that if he wasn't at a Georgia State game, he'd be passed out. But the adrenaline of being at a Georgia State game has just kept him going.
Yeah, I
Sure. We'll go with
Nothing to
that.
say, David. You're like, yeah, that sounds right.
you know me well, Ryan. What can I say?
We do have a comment, guys, from Norm asking about UTA and Little Rock. So I think what I've heard is they're going to leave, or we've asked them nicely to leave.
Yeah, that's from what I've seen is that they've been urged out. But even before all this stuff started, there was a lot of talk about, I think it was Arlington getting courted by Missouri Valley. And then like people were asking why they hadn't talked to Little Rock. But I think, yeah, the writing is on the wall that we're going to see the Olympic sport only programs leave the conference. And something I didn't know, if I understood what I read correctly, was we were splitting our ESPN money evenly with the Little Rock and UTA Arlington schools, despite them not having football. So when we talk about adding teams and getting a smaller slice of the pie, we not really. If those two teams leave and we added just two more, the money would have been the same. But obviously, we're adding 4 teams. So
Well, and the other thing I heard is that so we're all getting more money, and then all the new teams are getting the same amount of money as all the old teams. The AAC teams are not getting more money, so like the old AAC teams are going to make more money than the new AAC teams starting out. Everyone in the AAC is going to make more money than any Sunbelt team. But
I don't think so. I think the AAC money for the new teams is supposed to be like around $2 million, and that's what we're supposed to be getting.
I think it's better than us, whatever it is. It might not be by much, but it's what I saw reported was not the number. It's just that it was better than what Sunbelt teams are getting.
Well, hopefully we can get that up over the next couple of years.
Hopefully we can get it up.
Yes.
Yes, hopefully we can get it up for the next couple of years.
That's what I just heard you say.
I was looking at the World Series game, and
I mean, yeah,
kind of didn't finish my thought there. Yeah, it's been 5-0 for a minute. I've been waiting for another score to give an update, but
Exactly.
yeah, what is it? Top of the fourth, man. All right.
Great.
The best run scored in the first 3 innings of World Series or something like that is what they put up on the stats.
So we started about alignment or expansion or whatever. I didn't really finish talking about our football stuff. We're technically tied for first place in the East Division.
Technically, yeah. That's weird.
I know. I asked Ryan to help, and he just failed all over the place.
What?
All 4 teams in the East are tied for first, and Trash Down South is bringing up last place altogether by themselves.
Good for them.
Yeah, I mean, I like that a little bit.
You almost got me. I almost F-bombed us. Instead of saying what I wanted to say, I said good for.
There you go.
I like that. Good job.
I went with sarcasm instead of hatred.
Instead of hatred. I noticed that we are the only team favored, away team favored in the Sun Belt this week. Home teams are favored in every game except for the Trash Down South.
What are the other matchups we got in the awesome flip Sun Belt games?
Wednesday night, Troy is at Coastal. Coastal's favored 18.5. Coastal still ranked after losing to App. They're ranked 24th. Let's see, Texas State and Lafayette. Lafayette favored by 21. Monroe at Appy State. Appy favored by 27.5. And then Arkansas State at USA. USA favored by 9. All right. So now that Ryan has drunk himself to passing out, I guess we can call the episode it, right?
I was boring as shit.
All right. Well, you're boring as shit.
What?
So.
I mean, what kind of stat is that? We're the only home or away team.
It's interesting.
Come on, man.
I find stuff like that interesting.
I think that matters a lot about what team. I mean, like more than home and away, that matters like who is home and away. When Coastal's the home team, of course they're going to be up.
All right, cool. You suck.
All right, man. People tune in to hear me give you shit, so.
and we appreciate that.
I appreciate that, Ryan. Thank you.
I'm glad.
We'll head over to last call where we can give each other a lot of fucking a lot of shit.
We can give each other a lot of appreciation.
I'm already in last call mode now. I finished this glass of vodka and I'm ready to go. You guys got anything else before we do last call?
No, that's it. I have something I want to talk about in last call.
Excellent.
About the tailgate.
Teaser?
I want to thank everybody that was logged in watching live. And there's a lot of comments out there, and I didn't get to most of them, mostly because I suck at this job. But thanks for watching and thanks for commenting. We'll get you when we can. Anyhow, we're going to head over to last call where we just drink some more, talk a little bit more candidly about everything, talk about the episode, hopefully get Ryan to give me an episode title.
Show a lot of appreciation for each other.
Exactly. Watch more of the Braves World Series game. Patreon.com/State of Atlanta. You can get it free on Fridays. You get it as soon as it's posted for our Patreon members. $3 a month gets you early access to last call as well as access to our private group chat.
Deal.
Our merchandise at merch.stateofatlanta.com. And our love. We love you if you join our Patreon.
Real appreciation.
What? What just happened?
You gotta change. You gotta try the tactics, man. See what it takes to get people.
That's right. We love you. We love all of
We
you.
love all of you.
We only love the Patreon members. The rest of you guys can go.
Oh yeah. Get bent.
Get bent. That's a much better way of saying it. Yeah. Thanks everybody for listening. We appreciate it. We'll talk to you next week after we get another big dub down in Statesboro. Say goodbye, guys.
Goodbye, guys.
Peace.